Now, if you go online to look at these watches, you'll notice something. They have sold almost 500 units. Almost 500 people have bought this watch, and that's quite a surprise to me, if I'm being completely honest. I was offered the opportunity to review these watches quite a few months ago, and I turned that opportunity down because, well, the main reason being the dials. They just looked a little bit plasticky and almost a bit sort of toy-like. And yeah, I'm not wild about the branding. It's something I always seem to complain about when I review Bernie watches. And I was starting to sound like a broken record, so I passed up the opportunity. But then when they reached out again recently and I had a look at these watches on the official store and saw how many they'd sold, I thought, well, I've got to see what all the fuss is about. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? And now that they're here, I still think the dials look a little bit plasticky and toy-like. But these are colourful, playful, very affordable divers, or dive-style watches, I should say. They're sort of compressor-style divers, aren't they? They have a 200-metre water-resistant rating, but they're not ISO 6425 certified divers, so yeah, take that rating with a pinch of salt, but still quite fun, colourful, playful watches. And actually, some of the specifications are really quite impressive. I mean, 2 pieces of sapphire crystal, and that's just to start with. In fact, before I get into the specifications, I should quickly talk about prices, because there is an AliExpress sale at the moment, and I checked out with these watches on a silicone strap. You can pick it up for around $78 US. That's what I was offered it for anyway, and the all stainless steel version just under $90. That's what I was offered it for again. So yeah, both of these watches available for under $100. So I don't think we should be expecting too much when it comes to the specifications. But yeah, they are pretty decent. Now in the listing, it doesn't specifically state 316L stainless steel, but it does say stainless steel, and I believe that the all stainless steel version is stainless steel. It doesn't look to be a plated case or plated bracelet in any way. I don't know about the crowns, they might be plated, but yeah, the construction overall looks pretty good. Screw down case back, and the 2 crowns are screw down crowns. The crown action feels nice. Now of course, with these being compressor style divers, you've got that rotating diver's bezel under the crystal. You access it by undoing the crown at the 2 o'clock position. It is of course a screw down crown. The crown pops out, and then you can start to rotate the internal bezel. Either way, it's bi-directional, and there is some feedback, which is nice. I like that. Yeah, some bumps, some ridges, and yeah, the alignment is then up to you, isn't it? The lume on these watches is, yeah, quite a display, I have to say. Yes, not the longest lasting lume, but the initial lume burst is very, very colourful. I think that's one of the more interesting points to these watches. They are quite slab-sided in terms of the case design, but that is to be expected given they are compressor-style divers. The silicone straps on the silicone strap versions are actually quite nice, soft and malleable. They are going to be sort of lint magnets to some degree. That's one of the reasons why I'm not wild about silicone straps. They tend to catch and hold on to dust and dirt quite well. But these look pretty good. The buckles are nice. They slot into the lugs very, very nicely, so they're sort of fitted straps. Yeah, nice. The bracelet construction on the all stainless steel one looks to be okay. Solid end links, push pins at this price point. I'm not really expecting every single specification to be the best it can be. So yeah, no screw pins. Push pins. The buckle is milled. It's pretty decent. And yeah, as I've already mentioned, 2 pieces of sapphire crystal. I've tested them as well. They are genuine sapphire crystals, front and back. And if you look through the back of the watch, you'll see the Miyota 8215. I know it's not everybody's favourite automatic movement. It has the odd one has that sort of stuttering second hand. So yeah, if you can see past that, these are Miyota automatic movements in watches costing under $100. I don't like it when brands put this movement into more expensive premium watches. Then I prefer them to use the 9000 series movements. But for watches like this, yeah, no objections from me whatsoever for using the 8215. The dials are, well, colourful. Interesting. I'm struggling to get over that sort of plasticky look, to be honest, but I like the design to some degree. I like the numbers that they've used on the bezel. You've got that 5-minute track around the outside of the dial. The lume sort of sits in these raised sections on the dial. You've got the date window, which has been color coded, which is a nice touch. That's sort of below the 3 o'clock, between the 3 and the 4. The hands contrast nicely with the colourful dials, so they're interesting, colourful, just, I don't know, just the material that I think they've used looks just a bit plasticky. But if you're prepared to look past that, and of course the branding, to be honest, that is one of the reasons why I turned down the opportunity to review these quite a while ago. I just felt like every time I reviewed a Bernie watch I was complaining about the branding. They did for a period seem to start using just the logo on the dials, which got a big thumbs up from me, but yeah, I mean, look at the dials on these. You've got Bernie on them, and yeah, if you can look past the sort of plasticky dials and the Bernie on the dial, if that's not an issue for you, then yeah, these are really affordable, colourful, automatic sort of compressor style divers, aren't they? They're not really for me though, but still glad to get them in and glad to see what all the fuss is about. Yeah, 427 units sold. When you see the list of specifications, when you feel them in your hand, they do feel like well-made watches. I can sort of understand why. I'm just struggling to see past the dial construction, sadly. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of these watches in the comments section. And as always, a massive thank you from me to you for tuning in. I do appreciate it.